You could have seen it a mile away. But it does make such a difference for the media and our photographers in being able to caption things. If you can't caption it very often, you just can't use it, even if it's a wonderful shot. But Daniel Dobringer now on the dock and ready to go. He's got a personal best of 63 meters. 15-time Austrian jump champion. And how many great jumpers over the years Austria has produced. Maybe it's to do with the snow ski background. We all remember fondly Franz Oberleitner, who for a generation was the name we would think of when we thought of Austria and jumpers. He's been living in Central Florida now for years, running his own ski school very profitably, very successfully. But Daniel Dobringer, very successful business back in Austria, a sports scientist and a food trader from a beautiful, beautiful town called Gmunden, where Britta Luell and Britta Grabe originally came from. And now we're ready for the first of the professionals on the water, Daniel Dobringer. Now, Daniel jumped 59.9 earlier today. Personal best is 63. Look at that luminous suit heading towards the jump ramp, kicking off the ramp. Lovely position in the air, getting lovely float. Very close to that 60-meter mark. That'll be high 50s, that's for sure. Lovely opening jump from Daniel Dobringer from Austria. So opening up the scores with 58.4 in the professionals for Daniel Dobringer. His opening jump this morning was 56.1, so he's added 2 and a bit meters onto that one. Finished up this morning with 59.9. He's at 58.4. Let's see if he can add a bit more to that. If he can get over the 60-meter mark, he will be ecstatic. His personal best is 63. So Daniel now with 58.4 on the board. Here he comes, jump number 2. Very aggressive setup again. He's frustrated with that in the air, as you can hear. Wants to get over that 60-meter mark, 58.4 in jump number 1. Okay, 55.1 on jump number 2. That's not what he wants. He wants to get up around that 60-meter mark. Let's just see if he can do it now. One more attempt to go before he wraps up for the day. We have, of course, 2 rounds again tomorrow. Plenty of time. But going home with a big one. If he can get 60 today, he will go home absolutely thrilled. 63.0 is his personal best. 15-time Austrian jump champion. Watching closely down there, the famous Steve Critchley. Stephen Critchley on the dock. Great to see Steve back in the home country. Now permanently based down there in Louisiana. In the Bayou area, enjoying life at Bennett's. as he and his good wife, Danielle, do a fantastic job in the boat business at Bennett's. Here we go. Last and final jump, Daniel Dobringer. Looking good. Let's get the distance on that one. He has a 55.1 and a 58.4. He desperately wants to get that 60-meter jump in. Oh, yes, he's done it. 61.4. Congratulations, Daniel Dobringer. Going to go home with a smile tonight, that's for sure. 61.4. Personal best of 63. Getting very close to that territory. Now, it's the big talent of Steve Critchley next on the dock. So this is an exciting moment. Great to see Steve back here in the UK before he heads back to Bennett Ski School shortly, but with his personal best of 67 meters, he can blow most off the lake on a good day. Let's see if this is a good day. A jump champion, I think, several times, 2-3 times. And with the personal best of 67 meters, that's 220 feet in old money. That is a whopper. Here he goes, the big talent of Steve Critchley. Runs the Mastercraft dealership down there at Bennett's. He and Danielle doing a wonderful job in that area, selling boats very successfully. Doesn't get too much involved in the running of the Bennett Ski School anymore. Really specializes in the boat sales area, and from what I hear, doing extremely well. Here he comes, Steve Critchley, jump number 1. Jump 61.8 this morning. Nice opening jump. I don't think he'll be too happy with it. He can add a lot more to that, but it is a nice opening jump to get a feeling for the ramp again. Yeah, jump 61.8 this morning. Would love to get into the mid-60s today before he wraps up. So 55.3 on that one. He'll just look on that as a warm-up jump and hope he can push himself over the 60-meter mark. But how about Daniel Dobringer with 61.4? Congratulations, Daniel. Superb performance. Great, great jumping. Steve Critchley now having to work off that base of 55.3. 61.8 this morning. Needs to get over that 60-meter buoy out there on the water. Looking around at the sky above us, I see lots of blue patches. I think we'll have patches of sunshine before we all go home today. Certainly the air's got warmer. The flags have dropped. There isn't much headwind out there. Steve Critchley pulls as wide as he dare. Coming down now to the Stokes Tower. Drifting, drifting, drifting. And setting up now for an aggressive hit on the ramp. Oh, that's better. He's getting up around that 60-meter mark. That is better. Well done, Steve. And he's done it with a 60.9. He's got through the 60-meter barrier. Steve Critchley finding over 5.5 meters over his first jump. Now he's up to 60.9 and building. Final jump coming up now for Steve Critchley. He's got 60.9 on the board. Can he get a little more out of this? Personal best, 67. Well, consistent jumping there. He had a 60.9 on the board. That one looked pretty close. No, 58.3. It looked a little longer than that, but 58.3. So he's taking 60.9 back to the dock. Okay. Right now, that leaves Daniel Dobringer with 61.4 up there at the top. And next out will be from Chile, Emil Ritter. Now, Emil Ritter will be the first on the 1.8 meter ramp. So we'll have a couple of moments here while we get out to the ramp and get it up from 1.65 to 1.8. And we'll leave that to our homologator, Peter Davies, who's done such a superb job in the workboat out there. He will check everything just to make sure it is correct. Very important, of course, because always a chance of records, etc. And unless the setup is right, well, they can't be accepted. So tossing it back now to the expertise of Peter Davies. Time check now, it's just coming up to 10 minutes past 5 here in GMT Lincoln. Ooh, okay, we're just getting that ramp now, checking the measurements, 1.8 meters high, precisely. No messing about here. Emil Ritter will be first over, followed by Igor Morozov. So it's Chile and Russia, followed by Zach Ward and USA, followed by Claudio Kostenberger from Austria. So a lovely international mix coming up right now. Emil Ritter again with his very distinctive jumpsuit with the little white lines on his shoulders. You can spot that photograph anywhere, putting on his blue helmet. Very easy to identify for media photos later on. So important for all of our athletes to realize that when we're promoting the sport, and the professional photographers, they're terribly fussy. Guys who don't know much about our sport very often will pop down to take a few shots. If they have no way of identifying who that was on the water, they just don't bother and they put in a footballer or goodness knows what other sports they're covering at the time. Big thanks to Peter. Everything sorted out there with the jump ramp now right up its full height to 1.8 meters. What a difference that makes. G-forces increased to something like 3 tons. These jumpers hitting that jump ramp at over 100 kilometers per hour, picking up 3 Gs for about 0.2 of a second. That has a stunning effect on the body. And somehow able to make adjustments within that tiny, tight frame to get the timing of the kick right for those big distances. Technically, such a challenging sport. And you find almost all of our top jumpers are really bright individuals. It's not a sport for people who are not good mentally and calculating at so many different features that you've got to be aware of to jump a big one. So Emil Ritter will be the first over on the ramp. He's down there already, well prepared, blue helmet, black and white striped shoulders, easy to identify, third off the dock. So here we go, the very first athlete on the water to get onto that very big 1.8 meter jump ramp. And you're just going to see some big distances now coming up as Emil Ritter takes to the water. We saw Emil kick a 61.5 earlier today. Here we go. We have a 1.8 meter jump ramp jumper on the water. Emil Ritter from Chile. Emil's personal best happens to be 65.1 meters. 65.1. Got a 61.5 earlier today. Wasn't happy with that. Wants to add more to that right now. We saw him take the silver medal in the Latin American Championships recently. We saw him on the podium again at the Chilean National Water Ski Championships. Trains at the beautiful Miranda Ski School, where maybe watching right now, we might have Waldo and Martita, husband and wife of and mother of Rodrigo and Felipe. But out on the water right now, Antiare, of course. Here we have Emil Ritter from Chile and jump number 1. Again, a nice late beginning to that cut to the ramp. Beautiful pop off the top. Awfully close to that 60-meter barrier jump marker out there on the water on jump number 1. So he got a 61.5 earlier today. Can he improve on that? He's got to. He really needs to. He wants to. 61.4 is the best so far. That's Daniel Dobringer's. That's a great start with 59.3 on the board, just on that 60-meter mark. Make some adjustments now and come back for jump number 2. This morning we saw him jump a 61.5 and a 60.8, so 61.5 was his best. He hasn't got beyond that so far today, but Daniel Dobringer with 61.4 is in the lead right now. Daniel had a 59.9 earlier this morning, so he also improved this afternoon. Lovely evening sunshine. As Emil Ritter prepares now for jump number 2. Here he comes. That's it. Emil has gone into that 60-meter area. That makes the difference. 61.4 is the lead jump from Daniel Dobringer. Let's just see now what Emil has just jumped. It looks like a 62.5. We have a new leader. 62.5 meters for Emil Ritter from Colombia. Well, these distances now are going to build and build as we go down through the professionals who are here with us. Number 3 off the dock out of 13, 10 more to go. And you're going to see those distances get bigger and bigger, but 62.5 is the lead jump right now from Chile's Emil Ritter. Igor Morozov is on the dock. He'll be next on the water, and he'll be followed by Zach Warden. So it's Russia and the United States on the dock, waiting for their turn, which will be coming up in just a few moments. 5:15 right now. Evening sunshine setting over here to the southwest as Emil Ritter comes in for jump number 3. So here comes our leader with 62.5. Managing to hang on to that, but I think 62.5 is going to be the best of that set. .6, so taking 62.5 back to the dock. The new leader is Emil Ritter from Colombia. Well done, Emil. Now, folks, back on the dock, the very exciting talent of Igor Morozov. His personal best, 68.3 meters. He is, of course, the Russian national champion. A consistent performer in our World Cup series. We've seen him in the top 4 rankings in the world. He's just come back from the Vladimir Filin jump event in Russia, where he jumped 63.5. He was at the World Games in Poland a few weeks ago, where he jumped 62.2. And at the US Masters, Nautique Masters in Callaway Gardens in Georgia, we had a wonderful event there this year. He jumped 65.9 meters. So all kinds of potential here with Igor Morozov from Russia. Personal best of 68.3. Earlier today, we saw a 62.7. I know he wants to improve on that here this afternoon right now. Igor Morozov. Should be referred to as Dr. Igor Morozov. Happens to have a PhD. Very interesting guy. Travels the world. A great photographer. Great surfer. Really has an eye for photography. I think he uses his phone a lot of the time, but he just has an eye that some people don't, that produces just incredible images. Here he comes, Igor Morozov, jump number 1 out of 3. 4th off the dock in our pros. That's a lovely opening jump down there at the 60-meter mark. That's the way to open up the series. Opened up with a 62.6 earlier today. Russia's Igor Morozov. And he's got a 61.2 meters on the board opening jump for Igor Morozov. Our drivers here, A.D. Asher, Paul Wharton, and Tony Size doing a great job over the weekend. In our amateur event, being able to run those 2 boats back to back makes such a difference. It takes a huge amount of time off the day. In fact, we couldn't get through these numbers if we didn't do that. It's 5 right now, 20 past 5, and still, we got plenty of sun in the sky. Conditions very, very good. A little bit of a head breeze. Tomorrow, conditions are supposed to be even better. So we could say, so far, we have got lucky. Apart from a little drizzle early this morning, but still, we had a consistent head breeze all the way. Igor Morozov has 61.2 on the board. Here he comes, jump number 2. That's a beauty. Looking in great jump form, Igor Morozov from Russia. Wow, 64.6 meters. We have a new leader. That's a whopper, 64.6 for Russia's Igor Morozov. Come on, let's give him some support here. Wow, 64.6. We are getting up there. That little support from us here on the bank, folks, makes a big difference to these athletes. They push themselves to the limit, but sometimes when they can hear that support, it makes an enormous difference. I remember one funny story. I was doing the commentary, the Moomba Masters, yes. And Emma Shears was cutting to the ramp. And on the PA system, she was so late. I said on the PA system, I don't think she's going to make it. She came up to me afterwards and she said, you know, the last thing I heard when I was turning to the ramp, I don't think she's going to make it. So that's not the way to encourage me to get big distances. So I don't do that anymore. Emma taught me a lesson. Here we go. Igor Morozov has got 64.6 on the board. That's a whopper. Let's see, can he squeeze even more out of it on this third jump? Nice setup. And a big kick yet again down to the 60 meter. No, it won't beat the 64.6, but what a great set. It looks like he got all three jumps over that 60 meter boy. Just putting up a replay there on our webcast, and it looks spectacular. So 62.0 as he comes back to the dock. Igor Morozov, the new leader with 64.6. Well done, Igor. Now we go back to pick up the exciting talent of Zach Warden. 71.4 meters is Zach's personal best. I remember way back to 2001. Yes, folks, that's 16 years ago, seeing this young man in the U.S. Boys National event where he picked up the slalom title. At that time, we thought he was going to be a great slalom skier. In 2002, he picked up the Boys 2 National Jump title. And then in 2007, we saw him at the Nautique Masters in Callaway Gardens in Georgia become the junior jump champion. And then from that, it just went on and on. Under 21 world jump champion 2006, 7, 8, and 9. And still up there at the top today. Personal best 71.4. Zach Warden on the water all the way from Orlando in Florida. Zach was at the Vladimir Filin event in Russia recently. He jumped 58.7 there, was disappointed with that. At Moomba in March, he was with us down there. He jumped a 67.5 to get that sort of distance on the Yarra River in downtown Melbourne. I'll tell you, is not easy. But what an exciting event that was this year. He picked up the bronze medal for that attempt at distance of 67.5 on the Yarra River. That was back in March. Here we are coming to the closing stages of this year. Zach Warden is out there now chasing jump number 1 and a big distance. Let's wish him well. Here he comes. Well, he won't be happy with that. He was back a bit on his heels on the ramp. 59.0 is the distance. Zach will make a few adjustments now. And try to make a big difference on jumps number 2 and 3. But the leader right now with a whopping 64.6 is Igor Morozov from Russia. So Igor now needing a big second jump to make a mark and try and get up there over that 64.6. Personal best is 71.4. He can do it. That looks better. That's right into that high 60s. That's a beautiful jump from Zach Warden. Oh, do we have a new leader? Did he get beyond 64.6? That was a cracker. Okay, 64.4, not quite, oh so close. Zach Warden up there at 64.4, just 0.2 off the jump distance of 64.6. Well done, Zach. Couple of more adjustments now, and who knows, we might get him into the high 60s. Personal best of 71.4. He's certainly capable of doing it. Okay, here he needs a big one. Zach Warden, he's got 64 on the board, 64.4. He's got to get better than 64.6 to take the lead at this point. He knows with the competition that's coming up, he needs it. Kicking that, oh, watch him fly, but no, that's not going to be long enough. That's just over the 60-meter mark. I think he's going to have to settle for 64.4. Which would put him into second place right now, tucked in behind Igor Morozov, who has 64.6. Let's wait for Splash Eye. 61.4 won't do it, so 64.4 puts him into second place as Zach Warden comes back to the dock. Well done, Zach. Well, I hear Aaron down there in Lafayette in Georgia is watching the event here. So greetings to you all from all back here at Hazelwood Ski World, Aaron. Hope you're enjoying yourself. I'm not sure what time of the day it is there right now. It's probably around lunchtime. So I hope you're enjoying it. But we've got nice weather here, Aaron. It's warm. We got cloudy and blue sky in between. And right now it's very exciting because Zach Warden has come in with 64.4, just behind Igor Morozov with 64.6. Claudio Kostenberger is next in the water. So, the potential is enormous. All it takes is a few of these big jumpers to get all of the ingredients right at that particular fraction of a second. Claudio Kostenberger, he's got a personal best of 69.1. In other words, he can add 4 or 5 meters to what we've just seen, which was spectacular enough. Let's see how he gets on all the way from Austria in red and white colors of his home country. Claudio Kostenberger on the water. Two-time European under-21 jump champion, under-21 worlds. He picked up silver at that particular event. Holds the Austrian jump record and a two-time national collegiate champion at the University of Louisiana, Monroe on the famous Go Hawks team. That is the Claudio Kostenberger on the water. So let's see what he can do today. If we go back to this morning. Let's take a look and see. He got a 63.8 this morning. He wasn't happy with that. Really needs to pull out something much bigger this afternoon. Pulling out wide now in Austria's red and white colors. Oh, that's a late one. Oh, back on his heels. Really overcooked that one. Was very late. Great speed onto the ramp, and then back on his heels on the surface of the ramp. So he'll just forget that one. Adjustments to come back for jump number 2. Well, the scoreboard said 45.2. Claudio doesn't want to even see that, so he'll make his adjustments. He'll come back here now and really try and pull out a big one. He's well capable of doing it personal best when you get up around 69.1 meters. You have to have a ton of respect for that sort of talent. He did jump 63.8 earlier today, but he knows now that the leader with 64.6 is Igor Morozov. I understand any chance of holding on to the top position, that's the sort of distance he's going to have to exceed, because the lineup behind him is absolutely stunning. We have the enormous talents of Taylor Garcia, USA, Rodrigo Miranda, Chile, Boyan Schipner, Germany, Thomas Asher, Great Britain, Jack Critchley, Great Britain, Freddy Krueger, USA, and Ryan Dodd, Canada. Wow, we are in for a feast of jumping, folks, in the next 45 minutes or so. Claudio Kostenberger, jump number 2, needs a big one here. Come on, Claudio. Oh, again, just overcooking it a little. Wasn't quite right, having to pass. Enormous pressure now on this young man from Austria to pull out something big with one attempt remaining. So difficult to get all these ingredients right. These are smart athletes trying to dial in all sometimes almost conflicting factors to get it all together to pull out a big one just at that fraction of a second. We'll be watching the Stokes Tower. That's the building over there with the red lettering down each side, the logo of Stokes on the white print down the middle, just to see how close every one of our jumpers dares to leave it to that before they turn to the ramp, because that is very late. But we'll be watching it closely, and let's see what happens. A few years ago at my club in Ireland, we invented a thing called the dangerometer, where it would show you against others where each jumper was turning. And it really helped the spectators just to measure one against the other. But that was then, this is now. Claudio Kostenberger, one jump remaining. He's got a problem now because he's got 45.2 on the board. That's not enough. He's got pass on the board. That's nothing. This is the one he needs a big, big distance on. Did Claudio pull out all the stops when it was needed? That was a beautiful jump. We're just showing a replay here on our webcast. Just waiting for Splash Eye to show us that distance. That looked big. He's got to do better than 64.6 to take the lead. And it's 64.1. Nice jumping, Claudio Kostenberger, 64.1, puts him into third place right now, behind Igor Morozov and Zach Warden. And next down we have Claudio Kostenberger, all in the 64s. So in the lead, Igor Morozov, 64.6. In second place, Zach Warden, 64.4. In third place, Claudio Kostenberger, 64.1. Now it's the big talent of this young man from Florida, Taylor Garcia. He's 19 years of age. I don't think he's 20 years of age yet. He's got a personal best of 69.2. That's phenomenal at that age. His dad and sister will be watching very closely here today as Taylor now prepares to take on this challenge. At the under-21 World Championships, he took the title. But with a personal best of 69.2, 227 feet at that young age, that is an absolute phenomenon. So let's see what the exciting talent of Taylor Garcia now can do here at this Hazelwood Ski World in 2017 Stokes Pro-Am event. Taylor Garcia. Well, back in 2012, I remember the Junior Worlds, He hit the headlines by taking the gold medal in the Junior Worlds. That's just 5 years ago. And what a long distance he's traveled since then. We saw him a couple of years later, 2014, in the Junior Worlds, where he took not only the jump title, but also the overall gold medal. 3-eventer, this very talented guy. Now here he comes back for jump number 1, Taylor Garcia. Oh. Beautiful opening jump. So gentle on the ramp. Gets out, just times his pop absolutely perfectly. That's a beautiful opening jump from young Taylor Garcia. He jumped 63.8 this morning. Let's see what he did this afternoon. Personal best is 69.2, 63.3, 63.3. Okay, he's well into the 60s. That matters enormously. But the one to beat is 64.6 of Igor Morozov. So just another meter and a half now for Taylor Garcia, and we could have a new leader. Well capable of doing it. 69.2 personal best, 227 feet. That's stunning. Okay, jump number 2 coming up for this young man. 63.3 on the board. Needs more. Personal best, 69.2. Let's see if it happens. I think wow is the word for that performance. That was stunning. We're just doing a replay here on our webcast. Oh, he was hanging by a silver thread from the sky there. That was magnificent. Oh, let's just see now. Let's just see what distance comes up on the Splash Eye scoreboard. Do we have a new leader? Yes, 66.1 meters for Taylor Garcia. Oh, what a performance. That is absolutely stunning from this young man. 66.1. Now that set the lake on fire. The pressure is really on. Watching closely, Rodrigo Miranda from Chile, Boyan Schipner, Germany, Thomas Asher, Great Britain, Jack Critchley from Great Britain, and the last two off the dock will be Freddy Krueger, US of A, and Ryan Dodd of Canada. Oh, we are in for a fabulous up here. Just 6 jumpers left, 45 minutes or so coming up. If you could bottle this perfume would be worth a fortune. Taylor Garcia now coming up with jump number 3. Oh, what is Taylor going to do with this one? 66.1 already on the board. Again, a late setup. Kick. Oh, he's back on his heels. That won't be it. He'll forget that one, but what a superb performance. 66.1. That becomes a huge one to beat. Earlier, yes, or later, just listening here. Oh, yeah, earlier today, we saw Freddy Krueger jump at 66.5. Taylor's only 0.4 behind that, but of course, Ryan Dodd blew everyone away with a massive 70.5. So, the show isn't over yet by any means. Is Taylor Garcia going to be there at the end? Well, we're going to find out. 66.1. He's right up there right now as he comes ashore. Congratulations, Taylor Garcia. Back to the dock now we go to Chile again, once again for the big talent, Rodrigo Miranda. If Waldo and Martita, his mom and dad, are watching back there in Santiago in Chile, greetings to you both and to all the family as we enjoy the great talents of your son, Rodrigo. His personal best is 68.6. Very, very impressive. Rodrigo jumped 64.7 here earlier today. But now he knows he's got to do better than 66-1 to take the lead away from this young man, Taylor Garcia from Florida. Here we go. Rodrigo Miranda from Chile to take on the challenge of beating 66.1. For all those watching our webcast around the world, we'll be back on air tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock GMT. However that translates to where you are, we'd love to have you back. We should have a great day tomorrow. I don't think we'll be interrupted by any rain. The forecast is good. It looks like sunny and a headwind tomorrow. But let's just watch the big talent now of Rodrigo Miranda leaving this one late. Way down there around that 60-meter mark. It's not going to beat the 66-1 left behind by Taylor Garcia. Not yet. He's got 2 more attempts at that one, but it's a good start. $61.5 on the splash eye board as Rodrigo now will make a few adjustments. Rodrigo, one of the stars of our World Cup series. And staying at the top consistently for so long. I remember back in 2008 at the World University Championships where he took the gold medal. Since that time, he's taken a pile of titles, including the Pan Am Championships. We've seen him take, down in South America, the Eau de Sur Games. He took the gold medal on that occasion also. Almost always on the podium. Malibu Open, he's taken the gold medal there. Not once, but twice. But almost always on the podium. We've seen him at Moomba at so many different events. Hang in there right to the very end and be up with the top 3. Rodrigo now has work to do. 61.5 on jump number 1. That is another whopper. Oh, the pressure is building. The adrenaline is flowing. The distances are getting bigger and bigger. 66.1, Taylor Garcia in the lead. 65.8, oh, so close. 65.8, that again is a whopper from Rodrigo Miranda. Just 0.3 off the lead distance. Congratulations, Rodrigo. 65.8. Just a little more. One of the lovely aspects about this sport, many of you on the bank will know this, that where you've got a competitor out on the water, he looks towards the bank on the way back, and very often those that are competing against him will be giving him directions as to how to improve his performance. How many other sports do you see that in? I can't think of any. The other lovely thing that often happens in our sport where there's an equipment failure and one of your competitors who might keep you off the podium, the first thing he does is he runs over and he takes some of his equipment to help the guy who might even knock him out of the competition. It's just a lovely trait in this sport. I can't think of many others that are like that. That makes it special. Rodrigo Miranda has 65.8 on the board. He's just 0.3 of a meter off, taking the lead away from Taylor Garcia. Oh, he's leaving this one late too. Oh, he's a bit back on his heels on that one. It's not going to do it. Now, he knows that even before he lands. So a 65.8 is going to be the big distance he's going to leave on the board. So 55.6, but coming back to the dock with a whopping 65.8, Rodrigo Miranda. So now let's go to Germany. Look out for the yellow helmet. Yeah, down there on the dock, very distinctive. Always spot that in photographs. It's the huge talent of Boyan Schipner. I remember way back a young guy called Ray Stokes, the coach at the time, telling me he had found this amazing jumper in Germany. His name was Boyan Schipner. Started off as a slalom skier. We saw him in the World Junior Championships back in 2006, where he took the gold medal at that point. But once he got dialed into jump, we saw him 2013 at the EA Champions take the gold medal. World Championships, he's been in them all. Moomba Masters, of course. He took the gold medal there in 2016, and that is one of the most difficult events to win. In the World Games just a few weeks ago, he took the gold medal with a 64.6 in not so easy conditions. In the Vladimir Filin event just in the last few weeks in Russia, he took the silver medal with a 64.7. So this young man is on fire right now, Boyan Schipner. His lovely bride, his wife, should I say, back in Florida is expecting their first child. It could be today, it could be tomorrow, it could be next week. So he is just waiting for the phone call. Krista, his wife, is about to deliver. And by the time he goes back home, he may even have the start of his first family. Boyan Schipner. Boyan, we wish you well. Big moment coming up. Personal best, 71.9 meters. Best here so far, 66.1. Let's see what Boyan can do. Here he comes. We are so lucky here to see so many whoppers in one event. That was another big jump. Boyan Schipner, first off the dock. I think he's got to have the longest opening jump. 67.5, the longest opening jump by far, and a new leader, Boyan Schipner. 67.5, his very first jump off the dock. Stunning performance from this young man. Just seems to get better and better. 67.5, wow. Very impressive from this young man from Germany. Krista, if you're listening back in the United States, our greetings to you. I think Boyan is hoping that the new baby doesn't arrive until he gets home. But big times ahead. Happy times for the Schipner family. So Boyan, wow, that was stunning. 67.5 meters straight off the dock. Now, when we look back to the previous round, only one jumper was able to do better than that, and that was Ryan Dodd with a whopping 70.5. Freddy Krueger got close with 66.5, but 67.5 is enormous. He may even come out on top of this round. Let's just see now as he pulls out wide. Here comes Boyan. Oh, another beautiful jump. Mid-60s there, back-to-back against 67.50. Beautiful jumping. Quick replay on our webcast. Just floating in the air. And a 65.2. What a set. 67.5 and a 65.2. That is some talent. One jump left to go. Has he any energy left? Remember, this is their for all of them, it's their fourth time on the water today. That's a lot of jumping in one day. And add that to a bit of jet lag and all of the other things that go in moving from country to country. That is not easy. Just remaining on the dock, Thomas Asher, Great Britain, Jack Critchley, Great Britain, and then Freddy Krueger from the United States and Ryan Dodd from Canada. We're down to the last four. Boyan Schipner now, he's got 67.5 on the board. Can he add anything to that? If he can, he could well come out on top of all of this. Only one jumper this morning was able to do better than 67.5, and that was Ryan Dodd. So let's just see, is Boyan going to be the guy of the afternoon, as against Ryan being the jumper of the morning? Here we go. The distinctive yellow helmet coming down to the Stokes Tower. And here he comes. Lovely jump, a little bit of a body crush on the ramp. For a moment, I thought he might have been going to go out the front a little, but he corrected very quickly. Again, nice distance. Not going to be bigger than the 67.5. 65.0. Coming back to the dock now, our new leader. Let's hear it for Boyan Shipner with 67.5. Wow. Now, folks, are you ready to support the home talent on the water, getting ready to take on this massive challenge of 67.5 is the one and only Tom Asher. Just in here a few days ago with his lovely wife, June. He's got a personal best of 69.5. Certainly capable of doing it. Jumped 65.4 this morning. Now he knows that's not enough, but he is capable of out-jumping Boyan Shipner's 67.5. So let's wish him well. Now, I haven't seen Tom jump as well as he's jumping for some time. Guy's really on form. When the pressure is on, that's when the good guys come to the top. But here he is now leaving the dock. Britain's only Thomas Asher. What an exciting way to finish up the day here, folks. We have just 4 athletes remaining on the dock, including Tom Asher, and all focused now on beating that 67.5 to come out on top of the afternoon, but not forgetting Ryan Dodd already has 70.5 on the board from this morning. Wow. So Tom Asher will be followed by Jack Critchley, Freddy Krueger, and Ryan Dodd. We are going to finish here with a sensational 45 minutes, that is for sure. Sky getting just a little dark right now, but I think there's sun also coming out a little bit later. There's a nice little head breeze. That's what we want to see. And Tom Asher is ready to do some business. Let's see him drifting down towards the Stokes Tower. Great setup into the ramp. Nice float. Certainly getting into the low 60s on that one. Good start. So the distance to beat 67.5. Can anybody do that this afternoon? But not forgetting the 70.5 earlier from 63.9. Yeah, 63.9 over there on the Splash Eye scoreboard. Yes, but not forgetting that whopping 70.5 of Ryan Dodd earlier this morning. It just took everybody's breath away. We don't often see 70-meter jumps. And he looked well within himself. He jumped a 69.5 and a 70.5 all in that round. So that's the one to beat, really. But in this afternoon, the 67.5 of Boyan Shipner is the one that's caught our attention right now in this phase of the event. But, of course, it's the longest over the 2 days that makes the difference. So 70.5 of Ryan Dodd, that's really the one to beat. Sadly, we're coming now to the end of a spectacular day. We're going to be down here at 9 o'clock in the morning. If you're watching our webcast wherever you are in the world, don't miss it. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful day. The weather forecast is good, better than for today, and it will be a southwesterly, which is a head breeze. Tom Asher now coming in for jump number 2. He's just got 63.9. That's not enough. He wants to beat 67.5. That looks good. That looks good. That looks very good. Oh, that was nice. How nice was it? It needs to be nicer than 67.5, and if he could get up over 70, even better. It wasn't over the 70 mark, but it certainly was in the high 60s. Just waiting now for Splash Eye. A 66.6. Wow, 66.6. Tom Asher is getting up there. Second longest jump of the day, 66.6. Taylor Garcia had a huge 66.1. But Boyan Shipner with 67.5 is out there on his own right now. But Tom getting very close with 66.6. Just another meter, and he's right up there. And only 3 more jumpers left on the dock. So Tom Asher rounding the island made by his dad down there at the far end of the lake. His young bride June is down here right under a commentary tower, recording every moment of this. Get the cameras out. We're going to enjoy this one. Can Tom add anything to 66.6? That is another whopper. Oh, the tension is on. The pressure is building. 67.5, Boyan Shipner. That's the one to beat. I think we see 65.3 out there on the board. So coming back to the dock with 66.6, Tom Asher. Second longest jump of the day. Well done, Tom. And we stay with Great Britain now because we have the very exciting talent of young Jack Critchley on the dock. So young Jack Critchley, he's only just 21 years of age. Not even sure if he's reached his 21st birthday yet, but already he's got a personal best of 67.5. That's 221 feet, I think, in old money. For his young years, that is absolutely phenomenal. He has beaten almost everybody, the under 14s, under 17s, and under 21. Back here, that's for sure. But here he goes, Britain's big talent of Jack Critchley. Oh, you couldn't get a better finish to the day, folks, could you? This is absolute magic. Jack Critchley, the youngster, is out there with the big guns. But what a mountain to climb. 67.5, Boyan Shipner. 66.6, Thomas Asher. 66.1, Taylor Garcia. These are all whopping distances. You could travel the world and not ever see these. So we're getting the cameras ready now, and lovely afternoon, evening light as young Jack Critchley comes down to do business with the Hazelwood Ski World jump ramp. Personal best again, 67.5. Jump number 1. Oh, this is late. Kicking off the ramp. Float, float, float down past the 60s, into the 60s, that's for sure. It won't be what he'll end up with, I think. It looks like about 62, 63. He'll make some adjustments and add to that in jump number 2, that's for sure. 62.4 is the distance. So very nice start here for young Jack Critchley. He's dialed in, he knows what he's got to do, conditions are perfect. As he goes back now for jump number 2. Jack Critchley, 62.4 on the board. So Jack very much at home here, sponsored by Stokes Skis and John Phillips, making such a difference, this young man, helping him along the way, and I know he really does appreciate your support. John K. Phillips, of course, we wouldn't have this event if it wasn't for he and his good wife who've invested so much of their lives in this event. But watch this, folks, as young Jack Critchley pulls out wide This setup here, absolutely critical. 62.4 won't do it for him. Oh, he's late on this one again. That's more like it. That's a beauty. High 60s on that one. 65 maybe. Certainly doing all the right things, building nicely. 62.4 in jump number 1. Adding to that in jump number 2 with 1 jump remaining. $65.5 for young Jack Critchley. Come on, folks. This is the last British skier on the water today. Let's hear it for Jack Critchley. Yeah, he's armed. He's ready to go. 65.5. Wow, that's right up there. It needs so little more now to make a huge difference. 65.5. There's so little between these top jumpers. Taylor Garcia, 66.1. Rodrigo Miranda, 65.8. Boyan Shipner, 67.5. Tom Asher, 66.6. And now Jack Critchley, 65.5 with 1 jump remaining. Okay, this is it. This is the last moment today for Jack Critchley. He had a 65.6 earlier today. He's got 65.5 right now in this afternoon. Oh no, that won't do it. He was back on his heels going in. He's going to have to settle for 65.5, I'm afraid. And he had a 65.6 this morning. Tremendous distances. We shouldn't underestimate these. These are whopping distances. Tremendous performances. So now, folks, cast your eyes back to the dock. It's not often we have a chance to enjoy the spills and the thrills and the incredible talents of the last 2 athletes on the dock. But in the very distinctive green suit, we are putting all eyes on the amazing talent of the man, 8-time world record holder, 12-time U.S. Masters champion, 5-time world champion, 127 pro wins to his credit. Absolutely stunning. We're going to give him a big send-off, folks. Let's put our hands together for the one and only Freddy Krueger. Such a joy to see the man that set the world record back in 1999 at 68.7. 2002 pushed it up to 71 meters. 2005 breaking it 3 times, 72, 72.5 and 73. 1976, 74.2, 2006, 74.2, 2008, 75.2, and 2014, 76.2, 250 feet. Absolutely stunning. 8 times world record. That is absolutely stunning from any one individual. Freddy Krueger from Winter Garden in Florida. Hard to believe that he stayed so fit throughout. Now just about 42 years of age. That is amazing for an athlete at this level in such a punishing, extreme sport. Absolutely phenomenal. And it's a total joy for us to be able to sit back, relax, and enjoy the talent. We're going to sit back now and relax and enjoy it on the edge of our seats. Freddy Krueger. Holy cow. That was big. He just goes out and does it straight off the dock. What was that? That was huge. 67.9. Wow. So we now have the longest jump of the afternoon at 67.9 for Freddy Krueger. That's the second longest jump since we started the event. Only Ryan Dodd has gone further than that. Freddy Krueger had 66.5 this morning. Now he's gone up to 67.9. Wow. It is going to be an absolute nail-biter all the way to the end of this tomorrow afternoon. Hard to believe. It sounds like a bit of a joke, actually, because Freddy Krueger is now in the over 35 category. That doesn't seem to apply to this guy. It's just phenomenal what he's doing here. You know, we have these special championships for what we call older people who are over 35. Freddy Krueger is 42. He's just jumped 67.9. He has a personal best of 76.2. That is stunning. I'll say it again. Holy cow. He's pushing it absolutely to the limit. To do that, you know, back to back, it's only once in a blue moon most athletes can do this, but 66.7 against a 67.9. They are unbelievable distances. Oh, let's hear it for Freddy Krueger. Stunning performances. 67.9, 66.7, and one jump remaining, plus one competitor remaining. And he's watching every little iota of what's happening right now. Ryan Dodd is down there on the dock. What an extraordinary position to be in. We've no idea what the pressures must be like when you're at the top end of a sport that takes so much preparation, from weight training to gym to your food, your diet, throughout the whole year, and it comes down to just seconds on the water, really. That is absolutely stunning. It's not like football and golf and all of these simple games like tennis, where you can play over and over and over for hours and hours and hours and correct mistakes. Here it all gets down to 3 jumps, 1 error, and it's finished. But Freddy Krueger, really 67.9 on a 66.7. Here he goes, jump number 3. I think I heard him shout Geronimo up there in the air. That's what you call focus and aggression all coming together. We're going to give him a big warm welcome home when he comes back. That was stunning. 67.1. Let's hear it for the great, the one and only Freddy Krueger. Yet again, Freddy keeping us on the edge of our seat. 67.9 is huge. So only one individual has been able to do better than that since we arrived here in Great Britain, over here near Lincoln. And that was the man on the dock right now. His name, of course, from Canada, Ryan Dodd. So we want to help the adrenaline flow here also. He is the last jumper of the day. He has stunned us with 70.5. He is the recent world record holder with 77.4. And as the Malibu pulls away and we focus on the dock, we're going to give a big send-off now to the new world record holder. Let's hear it, folks, for the one and only Ryan Dodd. Well, I got to correct some information I gave out there because I wrote down the wrong number. Freddy's second jump was 68.7, 68.7. Even more phenomenal, 68.7. That is the big one to beat this afternoon, and so close to the 70.5 already on the board for Ryan Dodd. So, wow, what phenomenal jumping we've had here this afternoon. 68.7 for Freddy Krueger, jump number 2. What a set. 67.9, 68.7, and 67.1. They are massive distances. Ryan Dodd on the water. Who dialed in that special breeze for Ryan Dodd? Here it comes. Did you see what I just saw? Were you looking? Was that big? I think the word is ginormous. .5, identical to yesterday's score. Come on, put our hands together. The huge talent of Ryan Dodd. He is programmed right now. Can you believe it? 70.5 off the dock. Your opening jump just to warm up for what is to come. That is absolutely phenomenal. Be interesting to do a study of opening jump distances over the years. I can't remember many opening up with a 70.5 just as a warmer-upper. So between Freddy and Ryan, we are in a stratosphere here. Jack Critchley with 65.5. Thomas Asher with 66.6. Boyan Shipner with 67.5. Freddy with 68.7. These are massive distances. And Ryan Dodd to prove the point straight off the dock, 70.5. Okay, don't blink, don't look away. This is going to be big. His second distance is often better than his first. Oh, and he did leave it late. Tremendous speed into the ramp. Watch him float. Oh, that's another whopper. Wow. Absolutely stunning. Well, I hope our fan base around the world are watching this on our webcast. 70.5 on jump number 1. 71.0. He's added even more on jump number 2. Wow. This is our last chance to give him a little more support from the shore, folks. Ryan Dodd. Oh, 71 meters, 70.5 and 71.0. Whew, back to back, 270s. That is stunning. So you can put them together and say 140.5 meters in 2 jumps. Just amazing. What's he going to do on his final one? Is there any way he can do 370s back to back? Can't remember how often that happened. That would be absolutely for the history books. Stunning performances from these guys here today. You've got to take your hat off to them. Just amazing athletes. But remember, Freddy Krueger has the course record here at 73.5. That puts that into perspective. So, eyes on the water. Are we going to get 370s back to back? We are just about to find out. Here he goes, Ryan Dodd pulling wide, drifting down towards the Stokes Tower. He's laid again. Tremendous speed into the base of the ramp. A big kick, a big float. Is that another 70? If he can do 370s in a row, we're going to give him a standing ovation on the way back. Very, very special. Wow, 71.7, folks. Let's have a standing ovation for Ryan Dodd. 370s in a row. Unbelievable. 70.5, 71, and 71.7. Wow, that is stunning. So boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for all of your support here today. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. We will be back here at 9 o'clock in the morning, and of course, you are all invited.